So I just sort of stumbled on this whole DaddyO5 controversy last night. Um, on my way downtown to get drinks, basically, I saw on Twitter some of this stuff, floating around with DaddyO5. People were pretty upset, so I took a look at Philip DeFranco's video, and it is pretty damn shocking stuff. Frankly, appalling and horrifying stuff. Just a little background: it's a YouTuber and his wife and their 5 kids, two of which are step brother and stepsister of the others. And they sort of blog their lives, but it consists a lot of pranks and some pretty horrible, hard to watch pranks that really go far beyond what I would consider a prank into the emotionally abusive and really disturbing shit. Now they have said that this is scripted, but there is absolutely no way that, especially the reaction of the boy Cody, who seems to be picked on quite a lot, is fake. There's no way that kid is acting. Even assuming that it is all fake and it's completely scripted, it's still deeply inappropriate to show what is emotional abuse that many kids suffer, as though it were a gag. So even if this, and I don't buy it for a second that this is all just made up and that Cody is just fine. He's obviously not fine. Even if it was, it would still be a pretty horrific thing to put on YouTube. And it's pretty appalling to me that people actually find this stuff entertaining. So, when it all comes down to it, I think Philip DeFranco is doing God's work here. I don't know that there's any good solution. I don't know what the situation with the mother, the who lives out of state, the mother of Cody and the little girl. I don't know who she is really. I don't think we have a clear picture of that yet. When it comes to this sort of domestic abuse, there's rarely any good options. It's always terrible to see, but then when the state gets involved, that can also be pretty horrific. Having kids taken away from the home, put into the foster system. We don't know what the situation with the mom is, so that could be another bad situation for all we know. There's no good solutions. I mean, I hope that there is an outcome here that is okay, and that these kids are okay. But right now, I'm just really sad and angry. I mean, I am a parent of 2, and Lord knows I am not a perfect parent. And all parents lose their temper, and all parents, you screw up, and you hopefully you're big enough to apologize when you do. And kids are hard, kids are always hard. But man, it's like these people are creating this just awful, emotionally distressing situation for their kids, and then they're putting it on YouTube for clicks and for money. And the excuse that it's just a prank. I mean, if you watch them screaming at this kid Cody for this thing that they know he didn't do, and he's crying and he's begging for them to stop, it is seriously fucked up. I cannot for the life of me understand how people do this. Even if they think it's fine and funny, I just don't know how they get to that point. We're using your kids like they're props in your fucked up, stupid pranks. It sickens me. It really sickens me. And there's all these people making excuses for it and saying that DeFranco is, not being fair. But as far as I can tell, he is trying his best with his podium, which is very, very high, and his very large audience, to help. There's nothing in it for him to hurt this family. He's trying to help. Nobody else seems to be. And this almost certainly, I can't imagine this doesn't become a very big deal with Child Protective Services and a custody fight. I don't know. It's gonna just keep going on until something's done at this point. But watching these videos, I was very nearly in tears watching this. This is not funny. This is deadly serious. I mean, they cannot truthfully say that this is all just scripted, because when you watch, and yes, the clips that Philip DeFranco showed on his show are selective. He is showing bad stuff, but just because it's taken cherry pick doesn't mean it's not bad anymore. The fact that this is happening at all is just terrible. So I just want to thank DeFranco for doing the Lord's work here, and hopefully something good comes of this, because it was hard to watch. I tell you, it was hard to watch. And the story is still updating daily at this point, but don't use your kids, don't exploit your children for money. I mean, show cute videos of your kids, do funny pranks, be nice, for God's sakes. Why is it so hard to be nice? Why do people even have kids if they're just going to be assholes to them? It's just, kids are so impressionable, and kids are so emotionally undeveloped. There's so much of their brain that's still forming. You can't, a young child doesn't even understand what sarcasm is. They don't get sarcasm. I hate it when I see parents who are sarcastic with their children, because kids just don't get it. And I've caught myself being sarcastic before, and I've realized, I've stopped myself, and I've lost my temper. Like I said, I'm not a perfect parent by any means, and I would never say that, but I try really fucking hard, and it's a struggle, and I try hard to be patient, and I try hard to do the right thing. And just watching this, it's like a betrayal of everything you're supposed to do as a parent. You're supposed to protect your children. You're supposed to love your children and make them feel safe. That's your responsibility. That's your most holy job. And if you fail at that, and you will fail sometimes, but if you fail at that, you should try fucking harder. For fucking shame on these people. I don't care if 90% of it is scripted and made up. You don't do that. You don't act that way around your kids. You don't treat them that way, and you don't use them that way. It sucks.